people too long. Just a quick introduction. My name is Andrew Watson. I'm from Manchester in the UK originally. But I became a Mexican citizen in 2019. Here's my INE to prove it. Yeah. And I live permanently in Mexico City with my wife, Anna, who's also a teacher, our son, and a dog and a cat. And I've done a variety of jobs in English teaching, such as being a teacher, an academic coordinator for young learners, a teacher trainer, materials designer, IELTS examiner. Since 1993, when I did an initial English teaching qualification in London. From there, I went off to take up my first teaching job in Seoul, South Korea. And later I got the Cambridge Delta and the Masters in Applied Linguistics. So, look forward to getting to know you all a little better as we progress through the course. So as you can see, this is what we're doing today. Class management teachers' roles. We'll have a break, and then after the break, it's more sort of analytical, looking at vocabulary, how to analyze it, so that we're prepared to teach it and think of any likely problems. Okay, now you can access, please, this link I'm sending you in the chat. It's the TKT glossary. We're going to need it because there'll be some terms that you may not be familiar with. Yeah. And you'll know already probably that with TKT, the important thing is knowing a lot of terminology, what they refer to. Yeah. So welcome, Andrea.
Hello, sorry, I have a problem with internet connection.
That's okay. Are you also in Guanajuato, the state of Guanajuato, or are you from the state of Querétaro?
No, I'm from Mexico City.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Andrea. So we're neighbors.
Yes.
Practically. CDMX. Good. So click on the link to the TKT glossary because we might need it. And let's start with a little dynamic to get us warmed up. Okay, so good instructions, bad instructions. Now, if I say to you, I'm going to give you some instructions, okay? I'd like you to follow them. Write sentences in the past. Write sentences in the past. I'm the teacher, I'm giving you students an instruction. Write sentences in the past. So what's bad about those instructions?
I don't know what kind of past tense are you talking about? Or maybe
Right.
I didn't even know the past.
Right. So yeah, I didn't tell you what structure I wanted you to write. Yeah, it could have been the past continuous, right? But I just said the past. Yeah. So that wasn't very good, was it? What else was bad about that instruction? Write sentences in the past.
Maybe how many sentences I have to
Right.
write?
So yeah, so how many? Yeah. Oh, what? Form or structure? Should I write? Did I say what the topic was?
You did, well, you told us that it's past, but
Yeah, but it's not a topic, is it? It's not like the lives of historical figures. That would be a topic, wouldn't it? But I didn't say that. I just said write sentences in the past. So that wasn't very good. Did I say how much time there was for the activity? Ah. Did I say who you should do it with? Did I say you had to do it individually or as a pair?
No.
Right. So who with?
Or maybe also where do you want us to write the
Right.
sentences?
Well, so yes, yeah. So that's part of it, isn't it? Is the mechanics, the task mechanics. Yes. That wasn't very good, was it? No. So, instructions. Good instructions need the following, really. First, you need to say, well, give clear or specific task mechanics. So what do they have to do? And also, to be clear, it needs to be graded. That means, so if it's to elementary students and elementary level, simple language. Open your books to page 65. I shouldn't say, would you please open your books to page 65? Huh? Simple. Open your books to page 65. Yeah, the imperative form. Number 2, what else is important? Well, the time. How much time do you have to do it? And what about the instruction, the interaction? Is it individually? Is it in pairs? Is it in groups? And finally, I guess we should do a demonstration. Sometimes a demonstration is necessary. This could be with me with another student or getting 2 students to work together to demonstrate the activity. And maybe some instruction checking questions, ICQs, instruction checking questions. Like, I might say to Virginia, how much time do you have, Virginia, to do this? And then Virginia will say, I don't know, you didn't say. Huh? But a good instruction will tell you how much time you have to do it. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Now, we shouldn't overuse the question ICQs, as they're called, instruction checking questions, because it can sound a little bit condescending to the students if you make them sound like, if you make them feel like they're stupid, yeah? So be careful not to overuse them too much. All right, so we're going to now look at some pros and cons of different interaction patterns. Okay, let's start with individual. Okay, so working individually. So I'd like you to write one advantage and one disadvantage of working individually. You have 30 seconds. Andrea, are you working in a pair or individually?
Individually.
How much time do you have?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay, I'm going to start the clock now. So write one advantage and one disadvantage of working individually. You have 30 seconds. Stop. Okay, so I'd like, please, each of you to tell me an advantage and disadvantage of working individually. How about we start with Liliana?
Well, my advantage will be you have your own time. So you can write your answers and work with your own time with no pressure. And the disadvantage could be that you can't share ideas with your classmates. For example, you can discuss the answers.
Great. Agreed. Virginia, do you have anything to add there? Advantages and disadvantages of working individually?
Yeah, for advantage, I think being working individually is, well, you can improve your creativity, and as a disadvantage is that you can be like you can be losing time or
You can
not
waste time,
spending.
yes. Okay, yeah, but because maybe you don't know what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And Emmanuel, one advantage, one disadvantage.
Okay, an advantage will be that you can work at your own rhythm, and a disadvantage is that you are not open to other ideas.
Quite right, yes. Andrea, anything to add?
Yes, I wrote you can an advantage, you can make the work quickly. And disadvantage, I wrote if you make a mistake, no one helps you.
Ah, good, yes. Yeah, so that interaction is important, isn't it? Yeah, all right. I'm just going to stop the whiteboard for a second. And yeah, so suggested answers can be faster. Students work at own pace, but no interaction. Okay, now, this time, pair work. I'd like you to think of at least one advantage and one disadvantage is of working in pairs, but you might think of more. Okay. I'm going to give you a bit more speaking time I'm going to give you more time this time. I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay. So I'm
I'm
going to
sorry.
put you
Can you
into
repeat
breakout
what?
rooms.
Okay.
Yeah,
My internet went off.
that's okay. So I'd like you to think of one advantage and one disadvantage of working in pairs. So working with a partner, what would be the advantage, and think of at least one disadvantage. You have 2 minutes this time. I'm going to put you into breakout rooms so you can talk about it. Okay. With a partner, starting now. Please go to the breakout rooms. Andrea and Emmanuel, what were your answers?
Yes. The advantage you want to talk, Emmanuel? Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Okay. The advantage that we were sharing is like we share ideas or different points of view of the topic we are working, and also we improve our creativity. And the disadvantage that we were looking it like one person of the team or the pair do all the work and the others don't do anything.
How do you improve in creativity? By working in pairs?
Yes.
How?
Maybe when one person it's good like writing or drawing, and the other maybe paint perfect, or the other person speaks very well in front of people.
Good, yeah.
You can share abilities.
And Liliana and Virginia, what were your answers to that one?
We were discussing that advantages are that you maybe could work like a brainstorm You can share ideas, or you can compare them, or just give more examples related to the activity.
Yeah.
You can make new relationships with your classmates. Maybe it's a new school year and you can meet new people, or you can improve your speaking with your partner.
But Virginia, was there any disadvantage, do you think, to working in pairs?
Yeah, well, the disadvantage could be not talking about the topic, like just losing the time and not working, and having a preference for friends. Like if you don't like to work with Emiliano, you just don't work with Emiliano, even though
Right,
they're in pairs.
right. So the relationship dynamics might not work very well. Okay. So here are those are good suggestions. One or two weren't on this list here, but in general, it gives students more speaking time, allows you to monitor, which involves moving around the class and like listening into what they're saying. Really listen to the language that students are producing. Downside, maybe there's one dominant person gets to work and the other doesn't. Yeah? Oh. Now, on to group work. I'd like the four of you to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of working in groups. Okay. And you're going to work in a group, surprisingly. Okay, but we're not going to go into breakout rooms this time. We'll just stay here and I will disappear for a few minutes. So I'll give you how long? Maybe 3 to 4 minutes. 3 minutes, I think, to talk about working in the disadvantages, advantages of working in groups. Okay, and I'll ask one person to be the scribe. Okay, and to give feedback at the end. Do we have a volunteer to be the scribe? Scribe means you write down the answers.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, so Emmanuel will be the scribe and you will give the answers at the end, okay? So 3 to 4 minutes starts now.
I think that one advantage of working teams that we can make the work quickly because we have separate activities, different activities.
I think we can share abilities. For example, maybe I can write, Virginia can draw, and maybe Andrea can explain the topic, and Emmanuel can, I don't know, present the project with another group, maybe.
An advantage could be that you can work much faster, and finish earlier.
Mm.
A disadvantage, what could be? It could be losing
only one-
control.
Or
Yeah.
maybe that only one person works, and the rest of the group is just wasting time.
Okay. I think that an advantage will be that you get to know a lot of points, a lot of different points of view of one particular topic, right? You can, yeah, you can get to know a lot of different points of view. So I don't know how to say it.
No, yes,
Like that?
like
Yeah,
that.
like that.
Okay, yes. Another disadvantage, maybe like Marie. Marie or Virginia. What you prefer?
Maria, it's okay, or Virginia.
And Marie says that if you don't know the other person of the team or other persons of the team, you don't want to work with them. Don't know, they are not your friends. something like that.
Another disadvantage could be that not being interested in the topic and just not doing nothing and trying to distract others because you're not interested.
Not be responsible with the activities that we need to do as a team. For example, if Emmanuel has to write notes or something like that, and if he's like, no, I don't like it, or it's not my job, or something like that, that's the problem.
So I didn't get that. Sorry.
For example, when you are not responsible for the activities that we have to do as a team, or yeah, when you don't work like a team or with your team.
That you don't get along with your classmates?
Yeah, it could be.
Okay. So
It could be a lot of trash depending on the activity, or a lot of disorder depending the place. If you are working with tables that are together, it could be much more mess than having individual tables, you know. So much more mess, trash. What else?
So it can get messy working with a lot of people. It can get messy working with a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great ideas. So Emmanuel, maybe you could take a photo of your notes and share them in the WhatsApp group. But can you just or just perhaps just tell us now what did you note down as the positives and the negatives of working as a group?
Oh yeah, because I wrote horribly. I wrote so fast that probably you won't understand my notes.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
but well, I got as an advantage that working as a team, it is faster to do the work to reach a goal. It will be faster, and one gets to know different points of view from different people. And well, I think that disadvantage were greater than the advantages, because we talk about a lot of disadvantages. For example, only few people can end up working while the rest of the group don't work. As a team, we can have conflicts because we have different personalities and backgrounds. So probably we won't get along, and it can be messy working with a lot of people.
Yes. I heard, was it Virginia or Liliana was mentioning that I guess if it's a younger learners group, they can make a lot of mess with their materials and stuff, like cutting things up and spreading it around. Andrea, you had a question.
Yes. You do another WhatsApp group?
Well,
No, it's the same that yesterday. It's only a question.
Same as yesterday. Who's in the group? Oh no, you have a WhatsApp group, don't you?
Yeah.
The 4 of you, the 5 of you.
I think it's the only one that we did yesterday,
I
right?
think it was
Okay.
the one you did on Monday, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, on Monday.
It's a good place to share stuff, isn't it? Okay, so suggested ideas would be, let's have a look. Just see if there are any that you didn't mention. So the great advantage is it gives students the chance to interact more. It teaches students how to lead and be led by someone other than the teacher. So it helps students to develop valuable social skills, I would say. On the negative side, students get easily distracted, can be noisy. You're not able to listen to everyone at once and hear what they're saying. Yeah, especially if you're the teacher and you want to note down some errors. So it can be difficult then, can't it? Because you can't hear them because they're all talking at once. Good. Now, someone said working in teams. Now, is there a difference between working in groups and working in teams? And if so, what is the difference?
Well, I think that a team can be just 2 people, and a group it is more than 2 people. I think, I'm not sure.
No, because if you work with 2 people, it's in pairs, right?
That would be pairs, yeah.
Group.
Yeah, it's not so much the number of people, it's more like the purpose for working. And when you're working in teams, it's usually towards some sort of competitive goal, right? So maybe you split the class into teams and they compete against each other. Yeah? So there is a difference. And that's the sort of terminology you have to be aware of on TKT, yeah? Because let me show you. I'm going to send you a handout through chat, okay? And we're going to be looking at these different interactions that you can have in a classroom. And some of them are really kind of useful for you if you're going to be teaching younger learners, because it really does show you the differences there are in terms of interactions that you can have. You may not even be aware of the different types of interactions. So, and you'll see a funny diagram, right? And the S's are obviously students, and the pi symbol is the teacher, right? Okay, so you're probably wondering, what do these represent, these different diagrams? So what you have to do is match the letters A, B, C, T, E, F, G, H, I to the numbers. And you'll see that there's one that's working in teams and one that's working in groups. Okay, so let's see if we can identify which one is groups and which one is teams. Okay, can you see number 8?
Yes.
That's teams.
Yes.
Yeah. And which one would be groups then? Which one do you think is groups if number 8 is teams?
Maybe number 3.
That's right. Okay. So I'm going to put you into pairs, into the breakout rooms. I'd like you to try then to match the letters to the numbers. Okay, I'll give you about 3 to 4. I'll give you about 4 or 5 minutes should be enough. Okay, and it's a good idea if when you're in the breakout rooms, if you could share the screen so that it'll make it easier for you. Okay. So putting you into breakout rooms again. You can be the workers the same as before, Andrea and Emmanuel, and I'll give you about 5 minutes. Okay, don't worry if you don't finish. We'll do a quick answer check at the end and then we'll move on. Okay, you've all got the handout, right? Can you all open it? Can you give me
Yes.
the thumbs up? Good. All right, let's go into breakout rooms then. quick answer check. Where are we? Oh, yes, there we are. So, got the answers here. So, number 1. Which letter is number 1?
My team, me and my team, believe that number 1 it's letter B.
Correct. Number 2.
Letter C.
It is, yeah. Now, this can be quite useful to demonstrate an activity, as it says, right? Number 3 is groups. So that's E. Number 4. Number 4. Notice the 2 students facing the rest of the class.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Letter B.
Letter.
Letter
H.
Correct.
H.
Yeah.
I
It's like
didn't notice the students in front of the class.
Yeah, it's like they're doing a presentation.
Yeah.
Students leading from the front, perhaps doing a presentation or showing their work. Right. Number 5.
Hey.
Hey, closed pairs, yeah. Number 6.
G.
Yeah. So students sitting in rows, working in pairs, sitting face to face or back to back, not in front of the class. That's actually quite a good activity. For example, if you want to give students practice in making phone calls, right, make sure they can't see each other. So they sit back to back and practice a role play, for example, for making a phone call. And if you just want them to get practice asking questions, you can have them face to face and then ask a couple of questions and then move on to the next student. So that it's like they're in rows and they move. So they face different students. And 7.
D.
D, correct. Individually, students working alone. 8, teams. And 9 is what's called a mingle activity. Students walking around, meeting and talking to different people. So maybe the instruction is to talk to as many people as you can in 10 minutes, right? And get as many names as you can on your on your survey sheet, your questionnaire, like a questionario. Okay, good. Now, what is the purpose of doing these types of tasks? These kinds of interactions? Why do them? So this is an important consideration. What is the purpose of grouping learners? So we mentioned if you're doing the face-to-face or back-to-back, that can be useful for a particular type of activity, can't it? You know, like asking questions quickly and moving on to a different student. Or role-playing a phone call. Like a role play is like an actuación, right? One person pretends to be the person calling, the other person answering. Yeah, if they're back to back, that's like in real life because you can't see the person usually. Now, so I'd like you to consider what are the purposes of these different types of activities and, well, the advantages and disadvantages, and also think about a possible activity, yeah, that in which you could use this interaction. So we've mentioned, well, closed pairs. We kind of mentioned what the advantages of pair work are. Is that it increases the amount of speaking in a pair. It allows the teacher to monitor, but the negative could be that one dominant person gets to work and the other person not so much. Okay, then I'd like you to think of one activity that you could do for each. Right. So an activity you could do in a closed pair. Any ideas? What is an activity you could do in a closed pair?
Maybe an presentation.
It could.
For a topic?
It could be the preparation for the presentation.
The
couldn't it?
preparation for the
The
presentation.
presentation, yeah. But then maybe you do the actual presentation. Is that would be number one, right? So that would be work with the teacher in open class. Is it? No. No, it's number 4 is presentation, isn't it? 4H. Yeah. Work together in open class. So maybe they would prepare before their presentation. They prepare individually in pairs. Okay, now I'm going to give you a Google document and I'd like you to work. Andrea and Liliana work together on this one. I'm going to send you the link in the chat. Going into the chat now. There you go. Liliana. Okay. And you'll notice some of these are highlighted with yellow. Yeah. So I'd like you to think the advantage, disadvantages, and one classroom activity or situation. Okay, just those 4, right? Breaking the work up a little bit here, you see? So you don't have to do so much. Now, for Emmanuel and Maria Virginia, the task is slightly different. You're going to do E to I. So you're going to focus on group work, teamwork, face-to-face or back-to-back, open class, and mingle. Advantages, disadvantages, and one classroom situation or activity. Okay, I'll give you the link now. Directly in your chat. Please look out for it. Coming in now.
I'm really fast going to the bathroom. Is it okay?
That's okay. Yeah. There you go. If you have to go, you have to go. Okay, please click on. Okay, so just a quick instruction check. Emmanuel, which ones are you doing?
Oh,
Can't hear
sorry.
you.
From E to from E, letter E to I.
That's
Middle.
correct. Yes. Yes. Are you working individually or with a partner?
With a partner.
Yes, it's Virginia. And Andrea, is it just the advantages you're thinking of? Or is it also disadvantages?
No, advantage, disadvantages, and the classroom activity.
Excellent. All right. So I'm going to let you work now in your groups. I'll give you 10 minutes. Should be enough. Maybe less time is needed, but I'll come and check on you anyway. So to reorganize you. It's Liliana. Okay, go to it. Please share your screen while you're working. That will help you. All right, so we're going to do this like as a jigsaw activity in which you exchange and you complete the parts that you don't have. Right, so Emmanuel and Virginia, you didn't have A, B, C, and D. So listen to what Andrea and Liliana have to say and fill in the spaces, all right? In your table. I'll put it on the board just to make it easier for you. So Andrea and Liliana, can you just explain your for us, please? The advantages, disadvantages.
Yes, Andrea, if you want, we can take one by one.
Yeah.
One on one. For the first most pairs, we talked that maybe an advantage could be that we can have the same English level to do the activity. And disadvantage, one person do all the job and one person is responsible for all the activities. And like an activity we could role play, for example, like a conversation between two people. If you are trying or you imagine that you are buying food or a drink, that would be the activity for a close pair.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, role play. Yeah, like in a service encounter, one person is the server and the other person is the customer. It's a good idea.
So letter B, open class, the advantages, it's to explain a topic to all the classmates. We have an example like the pollution. Then at disadvantage, the class is not paying attention to a presentation. And the classroom activity is make a PowerPoint presentation for a specific topic.
And for open pairs, we discussed maybe the advantage could be focus only on the topic that teachers do. Disadvantage, well, as students, we don't search more information related to that topic. Maybe we only use the book and only the book. And the activity could be maybe prepare something for a competition.
Yeah, sounds okay to me. And the final one?
Yes, individual work, and the advantage is that we don't have pressure to do the activities. We on our time. Then the disadvantages, we don't have feedback. So if we make a mistake, it's going to be like that. And we the classroom activity that we choose is an essay.
Yes, good. Any comments from Emanuela and Virginia? What do you think? Do you agree with them, or would you have any differences?
I think they are great.
Yeah, for the moment, I think they are interesting.
Yeah, I would say one of the disadvantages of open pairs is it's not so good for students who are shy or timid, right? Because they don't like being displayed on display in front of the whole group. Yeah. But then if they have to perform a role play in front of the whole group, just the pair of them, it could be a bit intimidating for some students. So you have to judge it as the teacher, don't you? You have to make the right decision. Good. Okay, so on to Emmanuel. And Virginia, can you tell us about your 5?
Yes. Firstly, working as a group towards a specific goal, but students can get lost. And the example will be doing a puzzle. and then working as a team. The advantages will be getting to know different points of views, and it can be very competitive, and students can really improve their skills. But people can get mad between different personalities, and the example will be doing Kahoot.
May I say it face to face and open class? Yes. Okay. So
Yes,
for
yes, yes.
face,
Sorry.
don't worry. So for face to face or back to back work, for advantage you can improve your speaking skills, and you can see the facial reactions the students are doing, or their movements, or if they are really not paying attention to you, like friend to friend, and their body language. And for the disadvantage, well, at the end of, like, if you are bored or not interested, you end up speaking in Spanish, and well, don't really paying attention. And the activity could be a trending topic, like something that is happening at the time. Could be whatever topic. Well, yeah. And for open class, student-led, it can help to lose the fear to talk in public and prepare something by themselves, like have the ability to prepare a presentation without any help, and well, being creative. And also disadvantage is that is depending also in the, well, no, if the presentation that you made is boring, the classmates, your friends won't pay attention, and could be that they try to how do you say, to distract others.
Right.
And as an activity, well, the presentation, depending also on the topic. A presentation, it could be a cartulina. How do you say a cartulina? I'm sorry.
Cardboard.
Cardboard, or a PowerPoint, or just speaking, or bringing images, whatever, it's open. Yeah. And Mingle, we didn't have enough time to finish it.
Yeah, I think, yeah, meeting new people, it's a good way of, that's a good reason for doing a mingle, because it's often at the beginning of a course, and a good activity for a mingle is called Find Someone Who, right? So find someone who has the same number of brothers and sisters as you, so they have to go around and ask those questions. And yeah, they will get to know each other. Disadvantages of a Find Someone Who, any suggestions? Can get noisy, right? Because you got to have all these people speaking at once, right? And they're moving around, so that can be noisy as well. So your neighbors in neighboring classrooms might protest about that. Also, not knowing when to stop, because it can go on for a long time, a mingle. Yeah, and so it's actually good for like surveys or encuestas, right? A typical one being find someone who. And face to face, back to back, it's good for quick interactions. Like short question and answers. Phone role play we mentioned. Yes. Yes, I agree with Kahoot for teamwork, because it's kind of competitive. So any competitive game is going to be good for teamwork, isn't it? Okay, nice work. So we're just about done with grouping and interactions. And just a couple points before we move on to the next topic. When planning how to group learners, we need to consider the teaching aim, learning styles of the students and preferences, their ability and level, their personalities, because sometimes, you know, introvert students, certain interactions don't suit them. The class size, learners' previous learning experience, type of activity it is, the overall balance of interaction patterns in a lesson. If you've been doing all pair work, maybe you need to change. Do some group work. And also the group dynamics of the class. Now we're going to move on to the roles of the teacher. And you'll see that certain roles that the teacher adopts in a lesson are suited to certain types of interaction. So when we're working in group, when you're getting to the students to work in groups, that's a different role of the teacher than if you were talking in front of the whole class, because when the students are working in groups, you're having to monitor more. You're walking around, you're making notes, you're listening to what the students are saying. You're managing the interactions. So for groups, that would be more of a facilitator role or a manager role. So I'm going to give you a little fun puzzle called a sopa de letras. Sure you've seen sopa de letras before. And here in this sopa de letras, you will see 9 teacher roles. Now they can go across, left to right, top to bottom. Diagonal. Okay, I'll give you about 3 minutes and put your answers into the chat, please, as you identify them. The first one, obviously, is manager. Yeah, reflector is one, yeah. Well, let's enabler. Advisor. Okay, how many did we get so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How many are there?
9.
I
Okay, well, looks like we're not going to get the other 3, so let's show you the answers. Ah, we missed planner, didn't we? Planner was one of them. What about helper? Going from the top of the diagonal. Monitors there. Yeah. We didn't get adapter, did we? Oh, yeah, we did get adapter. Okay. I think that's everyone then. Okay, now this is not an exhaustive list. And when you come to do the TKT exam, they may introduce 1 or 2 others that you may not have seen in this session. Yeah. But there's some that are fairly constant, like manager, right? Or language resource. Okay. So we just need to be clear what those functions are regarding their roles. So I'm going to give you another matching task, and I'll put you into 2 groups. I'll have Andrea with Liliana again. But this time we're not going to use the same tool. We're going to use a Jamboard. This might be the last time I use Jamboard here because it's going extinct. This tool. So, which is a shame because it's really useful. Now, this is group A, Andrea and Liliana. Okay. Your job is to match the names of the teacher roles, and you can see there are 11 given here. and you have to match them with their functions. Can you see any that match? Let's do a simpler one to get you started. So narrator will be to do with telling stories, wouldn't it? Yeah, so that would be that one. Okay. So you've got to move the stickies to match the yellow with the blue. Simple as that. All right. But then it will get more tricky, I can promise you. I'll share the link with you now. Andrea, is your link here?
No, I don't.
It's coming into the chat now. Just wait a sec.
Mm.
There we go.
Yes, thank you.
And Liliana, so you're working with Andrea. Okay, and we're going to do this in breakout rooms. You do the matching together, you may need to discuss because sometimes it's not that clear. Manuel, into the breakout rooms, there you go. Sorry, into the chat is the link. Okay, I'll set up the breakout rooms. 7 minutes should be enough. Please share the screen. You got most of them done. If you
Yes.
didn't, don't worry, because we're going to extend this activity. Quick answer check then. And as you listen to my quick presentation, please check you've got the right answers. Here it comes. So for manager, that's all about controlling the group dynamic, deciding on interaction patterns, demonstrating tasks and activities, developing the learner's report, which is like the good feelings between the teacher and the students, encouraging the learners, giving them instructions, motivating them, praising them, maintaining discipline, responding to classroom problems as they happen. Facilitator, well, it's all about developing learner autonomy, enabling learners to fulfill their potential, helping them to access resources, providing opportunities for individual learning, perhaps outside the classroom. Language resource is all about personalizing, contextualizing, eliciting, clarifying, explaining, and modeling language. Could be about consolidating learner language or providing language input and correcting their language. The monitor is more about observing and collecting information about their performance, behavior, contribution, effort, and progress. It's about keeping a written record of the learner's work. Next. So reflector, thinking about his or her performance as a teacher, thinking about the learner's progress. By contrast, the planner is about anticipating problems, deciding on a methodology for lessons, designing and adapting texts and materials, preparing texts and tasks for learners, selecting materials and texts for lessons. The counselor gives learners advice on difficulties they may have outside of their language classroom, showing understanding of issues learners may bring to the classroom from outside, maybe some emotional problems they're having. Narrator, telling stories, telling learners about things that have happened. Assessor, evaluating learners' performance, behavior, effort, and contribution. Checking their understanding, testing progress and level, providing feedback on work, progress, behavior, and contribution. Contributor puts forward ideas or information other than language, like when you're participating in discussions and you want them to continue with the discussion, so give them some extra ideas. Diagnostician, that's evaluating their needs and difficulties. All right. Now, I'd like you to go back to your breakout rooms, and I've assigned you 3 of these roles. And the task here is to brainstorm when teachers might take these roles, thinking about before, during, and after the lessons. Okay, and I want you to... So, Andrea and Liliana, you're doing manager, assessor, and contributor. So for assessor, you might have to like sometimes make a test. Yeah, some sort of test, an achievement test, perhaps, to see how students have learned on the course so far. Test. Yeah. So that's one idea, but maybe you could think of some more. Okay, so where are you going to write your ideas?
At the green post-it.
On the green stickies, yes. On the green sticky notes, yeah. Good. And Emmanuel and Virginia, you're going to do language resource, monitor, and planner. Just those three, yeah? And same, you've got the same task. Brainstorm when teachers might do these roles. Before, after, and during the lesson. Okay. You've got enough stickies there. Give you some minutes to discuss together with the same partner. Same Jamboard. Yeah, you've got the links. I don't need to send them again, right? Okay, let's go back. Andrea and Liliana, tell us about when teachers might take the role of the manager.
We were talking that maybe it's when you give your students the instructions for an activity before the class or before the main explanation of the main topic.
Yes.
And for the assessor, we were discussing maybe when you check or discuss the answers for after the test.
Yes.
Took a test and they have this kind of feedback. We were thinking that. And for the last one, oh my God, I can see. Oh yeah, when your students have good abilities and when you congratulate them.
Yeah, it can involve praising students for for example, good participation in a debate. But I think the contributor would have to maybe give them some ideas or some when they're preparing for a debate or a presentation, the contributor would go around and make some suggestions about, I don't know, some visuals they could use, for example, in their presentation, you know? Okay, good. And on to Emmanuel and Virginia. What did you say? About language resource.
Learning vocabulary through repetition, like making the students repeat with you.
Well, to memorize the vocabulary, is that the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For monitor, like in a university level, if you're or a high school or middle school, for a debate, a monitor must regulate the discussion.
Right.
And as a planner,
Oh, what sort of regulation could they do?
well, if there's something like they are shouting or not letting others speak,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
calm
Calm down and make sure they're on task. They're actually doing the task you told them to do. Yeah, that's an important part of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. And the final one is planner, right?
Yeah. For planner, well, when to know when is every activity scheduled, the learning objectives, and planning something striking, something interesting.
Great. Learning objectives, setting learning objectives. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Planning something striking or maybe, yeah, different from the normal. So there's variety. I agree. Good. Nice job. So we're just about finished with classroom management and also the roles of the teacher, which, as you can see, they're kind of linked together, aren't they? But I didn't share with you the handout, and you'll see on the handout there's the information from the activities, so you have this as a backup, okay? And just to finish, we're going to do a little practice task from the module 3 TKT, so you get a bit of practice with relevant task from the TKT. And as you can see on page 3, is it 1, 2, 3, page 4, there's a module 3 practice task from the exam. And it says, for questions 1 to 9, match the teacher activities with the teacher roles listed A, B, C and D. Mark the correct letter on your answer sheet, well, just on a piece of paper. So note. So write 1 to 9 in your notebook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And you've got to match A, B, C, or D. So teacher puts roles, students into groups of 3 for role play. That's probably what? Probably manager, right? Looks like
Yeah.
manager to me. Yeah, okay, good. So you've got about 7 minutes to do it, starting now. When you're done, put your answers into the chat, please. Well, that was quick. Good work. You still got some time left though, so if you want to check your answers. Remember, when you come to do the TKT test, you've got 1 minute per item. So in reality, in the TKT, you would have 9 minutes to do this whole section because there are 9 questions. So you can actually take more time to do it. Okay, you've got about 15 seconds before we finish, so please submit your answers. Thank you, everyone. Okay, let's check then. Okay, so the answers are coming into the chat now. And most people were right saying that number one, actually it's half and half, wasn't it? Most 50% of us says that one was B, but it's actually A. Yeah. As is number two. Both manager roles. Classroom management, it's called. 3 is D. Yes, it's starts at this is from the beginning of the course, and the teacher wants to know what topics would interest the students and motivate them. Number 4, C. Yeah, language resource. Pretty obviously. Ask for new words, yeah, helping them with words. Number 5 is also language resource. Sorry, did I say? No, number 5 is D, isn't it? Yeah. 4 is C, 5 is D. 5 is diagnostician. 6, introducing the present perfect. So that's, yeah, it's a language. 7 is B. Yeah. Thinking about course content. Kinds of video is also B. Yeah, planner. Questionnaire. Learning styles and preferences would be diagnostician, yes. Needs and interests. Great. Good job, everyone. Now, could anyone share these with Maria Gloria? These two handouts and PDF. I'm recording it, but I think she'd appreciate the handout. Could you send it through the WhatsApp, or maybe I could just send her an email, yeah? How about that? Now, you'll notice there's another task to do on the grouping students handout. So you could do that in your own time. It's at the end of the grouping students. It's another sample task. There we go. It's also a module 3 task. So it's like the problems of group or pair work and how to deal with them. It's quite useful. Yeah. And I'll send you the answers by email. Okay, so you can do that as a little bit of homework. I think we should take a break now. You're assigned 30 minutes, but I think 25 will be enough, won't it? To 6:30. It's a substantial break. After we come back, it will be Lexis, how to teach Lexis. Introduction to language analysis and presenting language, yeah. So see you back at 6:30.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.